Я не знаю, но меня землей накрыло.
Что тебя?
Землей чуть накрыло и все.
Russians are filming the aftermath of a strike on their position, where everything is ablaze.
Кассета.
Фу, еба, пидорасы.
Ты куда въебал?
Я не знаю, но меня землей накрыло.
Что тебя?
Землей чуть накрыло и все.
Смотри, она прям ровно, прям на блиндаж, понял? Смотри, как охуенно. Чётко. А как ты сфоткаешь-то вот эту херню? Что, ты же туда не полезешь? Здесь пацаны были в блиндаже.
Да, вот он к нам прилетел.
И к ним на крышу машины зафигачил. Да подожди, что он прилетел? Дай посмотреть. Где она прилетела-то?
Вот оттуда, вот с разгрузки.
Вот она сюда вот так захерать заехала.
Ты что, смеешься, что ли, совсем?
Смеешься. Ладно, все, тихо, на видео. Я с тобой разговаривать, не спорь, не собирай. Вот он завалил эти сучки сюда, блядь. Что за? Каракат сгоревший. Здесь была... Ой! Здесь была разгрузка была. Это банки взрываются. Так, а БК у нас там не взорвалось, да, вроде? Не, БК целый, вон там лежит. Она не подлетела, заехал сюда. Чё ты, блядь, все, отвык. Пацаны сидели вон там, и к ним на блиндаж заехала машина. Они говорят, что она подлетела, я уверен, что не подлетела. Заехал. Ну иди посмотри, ну идем, там деревья завалены. По пути которые. Уже выгорел все. Ну иди посмотреть, пойдем посмотрим.
North Korea sent around 3,000 additional troops to Russia in January and February in continued support for Russian President Vladimir Putin's war on Ukraine, South Korea's military said Thursday in its latest assessment. The South's Joint Chiefs of Staff said North Korea has also been sending more missiles, artillery equipment, and ammunition to help Russia, and that North Korea could increase its weapons supplies further depending on the war situation. Russia and Ukraine recently agreed on a limited ceasefire, though both sides have accused each other of violations. The military equipment North Korea has sent to Russia includes a considerable amount of short-range ballistic missiles, 170mm self-propelled howitzers, and around 220 units of 240mm multiple rocket launchers. North Korea has sent approximately 11,000 military personnel to fight in the war against Ukraine in its first involvement in a large-scale conflict since the 1950-53 Korean War, and the Joint Chiefs assessed that around 4,000 of them have been killed or wounded. South Korea's National Intelligence Service previously attributed the high North Korean casualties to the troops' likely struggles in adapting to drones and other elements of modern warfare. North Korean troops are further disadvantaged by the crude tactics of their Russian commanders, who have sent them into assault campaigns without providing rear fire support, the spy agency told lawmakers in January. Advanced Russian military engineers have unveiled a new development, a motorcycle featuring a bathtub instead of a sidecar, probably for better aerodynamics and protection against drones. Governor of the Central Bank of Russia, Elvira Nabiullina, said in December 2024 that Russian deposits will be temporarily frozen from March of 2025. She told Russians not to panic. Still, we will most likely have to resort to the unpopular step of temporary freezing of household deposits starting from March of this year. This does not carry any risks for depositors. There is no need to panic and hurry to take money out of banks. In time, when inflation stabilizes and banks move to a phase of more moderate and rational use of capital liquidity, this measure will be abolished. Yeah, right, suckers.
And we most likely will have to resort to the unpopular step of temporarily freezing citizens' deposits starting from the month of March this year. This poses no risks for depositors. There is no need to panic and rush to withdraw money from banks. Over time, when inflation stabilizes and banks move to a phase of more moderate and rational use of capital liquidity, this measure will be lifted.
Macron has announced a €2 billion military aid package for Ukraine. It will include Mistral manpads, Milan anti-tank guided missiles, Mika air-to-air missiles, VAB armored personnel carriers, AMX 10RC armored vehicles, and ammunition. Additionally, according to Macron, part of the funds will be allocated to the production of equipment in Ukraine thanks to partnerships with our enterprises. Same old Russian terror story. Kharkiv is under a massive Shahed attack right now, reports Mayor Terekov. Around 10 explosions heard, residential buildings damaged, and a civilian infrastructure site hit. And also in Dnipro, Shahed drone swarms attacked civilian infrastructure. Shahed strike during a football match in Kharkiv. Today, the energy infrastructure in the city of Kherson was damaged by Russian artillery. This is how it works with Russians. US believes that the ceasefire regime is working. Zelensky.
They say they believe that silence at sea, silence in energy works. Here's what I think. 2 days ago, there was a night when there were no strikes on energy facilities. Today, energy infrastructure in the city of Kherson was damaged by Russian artillery. That's how it works. As for the agreements, there were 3 documents. I believe that the 3 documents indicate that it's not quite so. Normal agreements, in my opinion. That's why it works like this with the Russians. And that's why, in my opinion, if today there was a violation and there were strikes on Kherson, there were strikes on the railway station, and the electricity was damaged because there were strikes against the energy sector. And in the city of Kherson, Kherson city, a civilian city, this is not a battlefield, and civilian people have lost power. I believe there should be a response from the United States.
Putin's terrorists launched a massive daytime attack on the center of Kherson.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.